done on Monday morning, and then I can do this. So there you go. My name's Laurel Papworth. On Monday mornings at approximately 10:45 a.m., I do social media news, and I stream to Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube Live. And what we stream is social media news for the week. This is me catching up on the news, and I bring you along for the ride. So I get things wrong. I'm trying to understand what's going on. Everything's flying past. Plus I'm multitasking here because I'm streaming what I'm reading. But it is what it is. So, I also check my tech setup. And I had a whole bunch of things to test this Monday morning, but I changed my mind. I've got a new streaming service. I've got new backgrounds. I've got a whole range of different things that all looked a bit too much from the get-go. Let me just bring my chat window in. If you've got any questions, don't forget you can ask me. This is a live. Also, don't forget to check the playlists, because the playlists have previous episodes. So we've just done a whole series on Thursday, lectures for government. Starting this Thursday, it's university and colleges and social media, and then Mondays is the news. So anyway, let's go on. What do we have here? Move me out of the way. Down there. Myanmar junta blocks internet access as coup protests expand. I remember when they did this in London with the London riots, but people were using the internet to self-organise food for the volunteers and things like that, so the whole thing ended up a schmozzle. Surf photographer. Oh dear. I'm looking for something that's purely social media. The viral spread of misinformation and racism on anti-social media raises heckles from the Newcastle Herald. Because, hey, newspapers have never, ever put up anything racist. Hello, Cronulla riots. Media, I should say, Australian media. There's not a lot there. Let's try let's try original sources from social media dashboards. I put them under vendors. Let me see what we have here. Facebook developers. Facebook News will help sustain quality journalism. That was from 5 days ago. I think we looked at that one. If I just go into the Facebook newsroom, how does the newsfeed predict what you want to see? These are always interesting because they're algorithm updates. Let me go back up to the top right again. Data science manager, engineering director, and product management director. That's important. Adam Mossery used to do a lot of great videos and stuff on the algorithm, but he's moved to become the director of the feed and algorithm for Instagram now. So he's done a sideways move. There's a lot of theories and myths. Yeah. Like, you have to post images. It's so wrong. Machine learning. This is the sort of thing that I like to catch up on, and I just don't have time. So I'm really happy Mondays are social media news. So I can sit here and scan these articles with you, and then I can review the video later and go back and have a look at those articles if I want to go in more depth. So 2 billion people around the world use Facebook. That would be MAU, monthly active user. Be more than that if they're not active. There are more than 1,000 candidate posts. Used to be, it was 1,200 candidate posts. Candidate posts are the potential posts for you to see. So just because you like or subscribe to a page doesn't mean that you're going to see the posts from that page, all of them. It depends if you've interacted with that page in the last 24 hours and all that kind of stuff. Thousands of signals, social signals, trillions of posts. inventory, integrity, process, and contextual pass. Since Juan's login yesterday, his friend Wee posted a photo of his Cocker Spaniel. So we would have to have a high score in the social graph, is what they're saying. Another friend, Sanvi, posted a video from her morning run, and then his favourite page, so a page he's engaged with recently, not just because he subscribes, there's a lot of inventory posts that are in the spam folder, like just people never see it. A favourite cooking group had new sourdough recipes. We know that groups have a higher SMO, social media optimization, than pages. We need to define an objective function for one and perform a single objective optimization. Basically, the right content to the right people at the right time. So the right person gets the right content. Not just, oh, this is going viral, we'll show it to everybody. Even people who don't like football or obviously cooking or astronomy. They don't do that. Characteristics of the posts. If there is a interaction with Sanvi's posts, so there's nothing new there, that's called the last actor 50. Did they interact with you in their last 50 interactions? So it doesn't matter if it's a friend, a subscriber, a group member, they have to have interacted in the last 50 interactions to have a higher chance of being engaged. And it's last 50 interactions in the last 24 hours. So Sanvi's video already interacted with Sanvi, so therefore is in the inner circle, the inner social graph. If you can't see this, please let me know. I've tried to make the font. I've dropped the res down to 1280 by 720, and then I've made the font as large as I can. Maybe we can make it a bit bigger. There we go. If one has engaged with more video content than photos in the past, the like prediction for Wee's photo of a Cocker Spaniel might be fairly low. So this is interesting because we knew the story types were visual story types and text story types, meaning that if people like to read long articles, and I'm looking at Heather here, Heather Cox, what's her name? Heather Cox Richardson. If you have a look at her text posts, what you'll notice is that they're extremely long. We need me out of the way again. So, well, that's not extremely long. She certainly writes much longer posts than that. And she's a lecturer and treats her daily Facebook posts it like a lecture. So she writes out in long form a lot of information. She also does videos as well, which is an interesting story type that is engaging with this. They're listening more than watching, and they're reading more than viewing, visual. But this splits it up again. So if people like videos but don't click on photos, then this means you cannot mix. That the story types are, what am I trying to say? Video story type and photo story types, not just visual story types. So, interesting. In this case, our ranking algorithm would rank Sanvi's video higher than the dog photo. So in competition in the attention economy, we're looking at, will your video get more views or your photo? And don't forget, I look a bit tired. I was up and down all night. Don't even ask. The deep face is the object recognition part of the machine learning, whatever, algorithm. And it looks at the photo and it looks in the video at what it can see in the photos and videos and then identifies. So the first thing it does is, this is Laurel. And then the second thing it does is it picks out that this is the I don't know if you can see it. I have to swing my chair out the way. This is the Sydney Harbour. I don't know if it can tell that that's the Sydney Harbour. Circular Quay. Photo by Gary Hayes during vivid Sydney. Probably can actually, just from the colourful lighting. Unless it thinks it's been colour graded. I'm waffling. Let's keep going. So that's something new that I learned, that visual story types are actually split between video and photo. Every day people share articles they find interesting, watch videos from people or celebrities they follow, and leave thoughtful comments. They're indicating that everything here is what's happening on Facebook, but we know a lot of stuff that happens off Facebook is also pulled in through third-party partners. Multiple ML models, machine learning models, produce multiple predictions. So it'll give a score to Wee's photo, Samvi's video, Milky Way article, and the sourdough recipes. They survey us. That's declarative. If you can ever do things without people knowing that they're being watched, you'll get a more truthy answer than surveying people. Like, do you drink excessively? No. Do you have 4 more drinks a night? No. But let's check your credit card and you're at the booze shop every night buying 2 bottles. Okay, yeah, maybe I do. No, I don't. I had half a bottle of wine last night with Gary, so there you go. Not that you need to know that. So they do survey, they do ask them. Some people just hate Facebook and will tell them anything. But when you have 2 billion people to evaluate behaviors, you can make some stunning predictions based on that. The system collects all the candidate posts, so that's the inventory, and they rank them, that they can rank. The eligible inventory includes any post shared with one by a friend, group, or page he's connected to. But what about the lookalike audience, where people that look like one have engaged with something, but he's not connected to them through a friend, group, or page? That's an interesting one. Fresh posts were ranked for one, but not seen by him first. That makes sense, although we do see duplicates. By the way, am I loud enough? I'm looking at my audio and I'm not convinced it's brilliant. Maybe I'll come in a bit closer. No, that'll do. We run these models for all the candidate stories in parallel on multiple machines called predictors. And with multiple versions of the algorithm, there are literally tens of thousands of versions of the algorithm running at any given time. And what Facebook is doing is A/B testing the results of changing these little data sets, lots and lots and lots, but nano parts of the data sets around. We wait until after we have these first predictions so we can narrow the pool of posts to be ranked. So does that mean the first hour is not as relevant as later? I love this stuff. Yeah. I know it's supposed to be news and I'm spending way too long on this. All right, I'm going to read the rest of it later. But yeah, fascinating. Oh, we're almost at the end. Yeah, we are almost at the end. We want to make sure one's newsfeed has a good mix of content types and he's not seeing multiple video posts one after the other. but there will be a heavy weighting towards video posts if he prefers videos. Just be aware of that. And if you're working with a text story type, there absolutely is more links to articles and long text posts. I'm a text story type. I get very few videos. The videos I do get have a lot of text in them. So they're PowerPoint type presentations or Al Jazeera type. Lots of text on the videos. So be aware of that. Hmm, 500 posts. Remember that the bucket fills up all the time. So the ad inventory isn't static, isn't there for the day. It's like every time you log in, there's a whoop, the bucket fills up with more posts. And that's what I think they're saying when they say that if they've already seen it or their friends have already engaged with it. All right, I'm probably boring all the people who don't like algorithms and engineering and all that numbers and all that stuff, which I live for, so I'm moving on. If you have any top tips about the algorithm, please let me know, because I do collect them. But what I do is I link them to the original patent or data research paper or some sort of technical briefing that has come out of normally the data research centres around the world. I think there's a couple in America and one in France and one in somewhere in Asia, and I use their data. I want you to be careful of Facebook marketing. The marketing people are not as vigilant with understanding the algorithm that the engineer, data research, the developer groups and things like that are. And so you hear, frankly, rubbish. It's like when Twitter marketing said they don't do shadow banning, and everybody in the audience went, yeah, you do. So we all knew that they do. All right, I'm going to go on to Twitter now. I think we already looked at this. K-pop Twitter achieves new record of 6.7. Oh, what am I doing in the way again? Is that better? Maybe I'll just come out of it. How's that? Much better. K-pop Twitter achieves new record of 6.7 billion tweets globally in 2020, making Twitter a better home for writers. They've acquired Review, a service that makes it free and easy for anyone to start and publish editorial newsletters. What's that one that Heather has? I get her newsletters. Let me just go into I think this is what Get Review is going to be like, but we can have a quick look. What I like about the one that I use is, although I read Heather's and they're free, there's also an option to pay for them. Substack. Why didn't I know that? It's because it's Monday morning. So let me throw this back up again. Top right. So Substack is a newsletter service that has both a web page and then people can sign up for. They can also pay a subscription fee to sign up, or you can. It depends if you're doing it as a revenue stream, a sales or revenue stream, or whether you want to do it as a marketing tool. And I was thinking of using Substack. But if we have a look at this one, Review. And of course, there's the one that I use for my Financial Times that automatically tweets out for me, which is called Paper.li. I tend to sign up for these and then forget that I've signed up for them. Like I set them up and then oh yeah, I get that. And then I move on. Crypto Expert uses Review for subscription-only email, pay for, I guess, to keep people up to date. And then we've got a YouTuber, private audience. and then an award-winning author. Check out Invisible Women. It's Invisible Women. Okay, Twitter. You gotta... You have to... If you're going to talk to writers, I'm not even going to say it. Invisible Women. Toilet queue of the week. And then you can read through previous issues. Okay, so it's not that different from like Substack. Let's have a look at Common Sense. We could always do with some Common Sense. Probably have to go up there, do I? Yep. Okay, let me read it first. And you can go through and read the previous newsletters. So, interesting tool. What an interesting play that Twitter's decided to purchase Review. And at the time that they are dropping Periscope. By the way, if you've figured out how to use Twitter Live, please let me know, because I have a funny feeling in March my Periscope and Twitter Live is going to drop off and I still won't have figured out how to live stream, multi-stream to Twitter Live, because I can do it to Periscope. So this is the product lead for Twitter and the co-founder of Periscope talking about Review. Kayvon Beckpour, KVZ, MEP. Okay, so both of them. What do I think? Compose a newsletter, drag links, videos, and tweets into the issue. Now, I was just talking about story types and the fact that the algorithm has learned that I will put those two up on the screen so that you can see them if you want to follow them. So this is the product lead for Twitter and co-founder of Periscope, KVZ, and Mike Park is MEP, publisher products. So we were just talking about story types, video story types, photo story types, text story types. And in general, Twitter is the home of text story types in the same way that Instagram is the home for visual story types, photo story types. So dropping Periscope and picking up Review in a way makes sense, because Twitter is the home of the pithy headline, the pithy tweet, the link to articles that people want to read. And while people do distribution of their YouTube videos and things like that on Twitter, people are there to get the headline and then move off in some senses. All right, so I'll have to go and have a look at Review. They're making Reviews Pro features free for all accounts and lowering the paid newsletter fee to 5%. So I guess if you charge $100 for the newsletter, they'll get $5. I pay for some newsletters. I hate email newsletters in general. I have an email newsletter which you're very welcome to sign up for, but be on notice. I'm supposed to send it out monthly, and I don't think I've sent it out for 6 or 7 months, and I've got thousands of people on it, like thousands of people who know me and have been to my courses and my workshops and things like that, and I don't do the newsletters, partly because I don't like reading them myself, and I want them to be of value, and I don't want them to be sousy. I don't need to do the sousy stuff. Great content is in and of itself great souse. Like people go, how can I work with you? Which is a good place to be. Now I'm feeling guilty. Okay, I'll send out a newsletter, whatever. And I send it out through my school. So I had people to the school. Let's move on. What are we at? 11:17. Started a few minutes late. 25 minutes. So I'm thinking if we finish at around 30 minutes, that should be plenty. I'm just checking. I changed all the live stream to the new multi-platform streaming service, and then I panicked and changed it all back again. And there's still part of me that's like, did I do it right? Is it all okay? So if I go to my Twitter, Facebook, I'm live. Good. Somebody's leaving comments. Yep. All right. And then if I go to Twitter, no, it's fine. That's fine. As long as I know it's live on one, it's all good. So what do we have here? If I go, I like to scan through here because it's just quick and easy to read. 15 days ago. What? It's been more than that. Now, this is what happens with LinkedIn because they don't understand distributed content. They break their RSS feed all the time. And I have to go in and grab this again and refresh it in Feedly so that I can catch up on the news. So it does pay sometimes to simply use Feedly as the bookmark, click on it and go through. So February the 1st, 7 days ago, features to help you control your feed and conversations so you can customize your experience. Basically, you're teaching the algorithm what it is that you like and what you don't like. New controls to surface the conversations that matter to you, the same thing again. And then a job, people looking for jobs, information for them, building your network in a virtual world. Interesting. I actually ran workshops years ago for Google and Facebook on building online communities for virtual worlds and VR, virtual reality. And, I was in Silicon Valley. I don't know. I remember going to Vegas more. It's not a numbers game, which is kind of funny because somebody at LinkedIn said to me, you don't have the most LinkedIn people, on your network. I'm like, no, because I deliberately chose not to be a lion. LinkedIn open networker. Well, not interested. I know who I need to connect to. Let me get out of the way so you can read this. Identify commonalities when sending a connection request. That's going to help with lookalike audience type data sets. Is this person like the other people? Lean on your network for introductions. No. Don't lose momentum. Have you ever asked someone to introduce you to someone and how did it go? What I find interesting is people break all the conventions, the rituals, the social paradigms, the way that we engage with each other as human beings when they're on LinkedIn. So as an example, when I'm working with influencers or we're developing campaigns, there's a number of fundamental rules. First of all, if you're going to invite an influencer to an event or you're going to invite a group to an event, build the relationship with them first and then invite them. The first time they hear from you shouldn't be you should come to this event. And the reason for that is people get inundated, absolutely inundated. And I'm very interested to see on LinkedIn that people I'm not connected to, I never hear from, are like, introduce me to this person. I'm like, hi, how are you? Yeah, I'm great too. I'm sorry, you wanted me to do something for you? You want me to use my carefully curated and managed community where I build trust with them, and you just want to not have to do that work. You just want me to have done all that work and introduce you. So in a sense, asking a LinkedIn person to introduce you to someone is like building out an influencer campaign. Do it carefully with respect, okay? I did not build up networks of people so that you can just walk in and hijack them. Sorry, not going to happen. And I'm not being mean. It's just that I don't know you. You haven't built a relationship with me. What are you going to do with my network? It's like when people say to you, oh, why don't you just, where do I want to be? I'll come off the screen. You should just spam your network with this stuff that has nothing to do with them. I'm like, no, I shouldn't. Share your professional story. All right. No, I don't think I will. Let's go back to here again. What are we looking for here? There were some things I noticed last week and I was thinking I really must talk about them on Monday. And they've gone out of my little head. What's Facebook talking about? Grants and stuff? No. Okay. All right, guys. Thursday, 1 p.m. Sydney time is the lecture on social media for universities and colleges. Then next Monday is the news again. And if you have any questions, please let me know. And I think that's everything for today. I'm going to have to love you and leave you. Thanks very much. See you. Bye.